Hello and welcome to our today's video. My name is Kate and this is Kate's Crochet Art. Karibu. So today we are working on a neck warmer. It's been long since we did a neck warmer, and because it is during the cold season, I thought that we should do one. Karibu sana. So we are going to do it's a cowl. It includes 3 stitches, which is single crochet, half double crochet and double crochet. So we are starting by making a slip knot. This is how to knot, and we make a chain that is 45. That is, we make a chain of 45. And sorry, I'm using a crochet hook number 3.5 millimeters. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 41, 42, 43, 44, and 45. All right. So now, once we have our chain, this is how long it is. We're going to be working back, going this direction. So now we are going to skip our first stitch here, this stitch, and to the second we make a single crochet. Ouch, single. So we single crochet to the next, single crochet to the next, and on this row we are going to be single crocheting to the last stitch. So we continue with our single crochet stitches until we get to this other side, and I meet you when you're here. At the end we make our final single crochet. And this is our second row. So now, while at the end we make a chain of 1 and turn our work, and now on this row we are going to be mixing different stitches. So now we will need a stitch marker 1 or 2 to be marking our transitioning stitches. So now from here we are going to make 25 single crochets. The first one chain counts as our first stitch, and we are working on the back loop only. So now we skip the first stitch, which is represented by the chain 1, and to the second, which is this one, we make a single crochet on the back loop here. So we single crochet, that is 2, single crochet to the back loop, 3, 4. So remember we are making 25 of them. 5, 6, 21, 22, 23, 24, and 25. So we have our 25 single crochets, and this is how it looks like. We are working on the back loop, and it is giving us this effect. I don't know if you can see. So now we have 25 single crochets, and we are going to be marking our 25th stitch here. 25 single crochets. Now we transition to the next stitch, which is half double crochet, and we are going to make just 2 of them. In the next 2 stitches we make a half double crochet on each. So 1, the next one, 2. So it is 25 single crochets, 2 half double crochets, and now we go to 18 double crochets. 1, 2, 3, 17, and the last one 18. Make sure that you get the very last one so that your edges are going to be straight. That is 18, and this is what we have. So it starts with single crochets, half double crochet and double crochets. Always remember to do these 2 half double crochets to transition you from single crochets to half double crochets. All right, so at the end we're going to chain 1 and turn our work, and we are working single crochets on the back loop only all the way to the end. So single crochet, remember right now we are working on top of the double crochets, and you work all through to the other side, on top of the double crochets, on top of the half double crochets, and on top of the single crochets. So it is a two rows stitch pattern, where in one row we are going to do, or rather we are doing single crochets, 25 of them, and then 2 half double crochets and 18 double crochets. That is one row. And now to the next one, it is now where we are making single crochets, and we repeat this until we get our desired size of our cowl. It is a very simple stitch pattern, and it is also beginner friendly. Sorry for this. Any beginner can make this. The stitches are also beginner friendly. So once you get to the stitch marker, you make that stitch on the stitch marker, remove your marker and mark that stitch. If you forget to mark this, be sure that you will lose your count unless you do your counts again. You do not have all that time to keep counting on each and every row. So to make this easier for you, always remember to mark the stitch above the one on the stitch marker. So we are making single crochets to the end throughout this row, and as you make this, you realize that it is giving you a very nice effect, or it is bringing out the pattern very well. Again, remember not to tighten your work. If you make your stitches too tight, they are going to be, it is going to be hard for you when making the pattern. So make your stitches not too loose, not too tight, for the ease of the work. All right, this far I would like to say thank you so much for your support, for always watching my videos, liking them, sharing, subscribing to this channel, and I'm super excited and I'm grateful. God bless you. So we are at the end, and we make our last stitch right here. And that is our row of single crochets. So we are at the end, we make a chain of 1, we turn our work. So always remember, this is every row is this part is going to be single crochets. The only part which is changing, it is from the stitch marker all the way to this other side. So once we chain 1, we turn our work. To the next stitch, we work single crochet on the back loop only. Back loop, single crochet on the back loop, and we make single crochets on the back loop only until we get to the stitch marker. It is a very simple stitch pattern. It is just repeating what you've been doing in the previous 2 rows. So continue making your single crochets until you get to the stitch marker. And also I would like to hear from you. Suggest what you would like us to do. Any area that you are struggling. So keep it here for more tutorials and for more interactions. You can follow me on Instagram. I'm Kanded Naturals. I have mixed content there. I'm also dealing with hair, that is natural hair, and skincare. So follow me on Instagram and also on Facebook, Kanded Naturals. So we have our 25 single crochets up to the stitch marker. We remove our marker and we mark the stitch that we've just done. Now the next 2 stitches, it is half double crochet on each. So that is 1, 2, and now this transitions us to the next stitch, which is double crochets. So we continue with our 18 double crochets. If there is any part of the previous videos that you've not gotten right, you can also comment on that specific video. We can review that, especially for beginners. So for the beginners, you can as well speak on what you want us to show you, or rather what you want us to work on, especially on the stitches and all that. So we are almost at the end of the row, and here we make our last stitch. And that is the stitch pattern for this neckwarmer. So remember, we began with 45 stitches, that is a chain of 45. We did a row. In the next row we did a row of single crochets to the end. In the next row we did 25 single crochets, all right, 2 half double crochets and 18 double crochets. In the next row we did a row of single crochets on the back loop. In the next row which we've just finished, it is 25 single crochets on the back loop only, 2 half double crochets and 18 double crochets, and this is it. So you can just write this somewhere for reference, because we are repeating all this. Once this is done in one row, remember the next row is a row of single crochets on the back loop. After the row of single crochets, you get back to this. All right, so this is for one row. So we have, this is the chain, the starting chain. Sorry for that, this is not well focusing. All right, so we started with this. Again, single crochets. That was our second row, which was 45. And now this is our first, second, and this is our third row. And now the fourth row, we get back to here, single crochets, 45 of them. The fifth row, we do the third row. The sixth row, the fourth row. So we'll be alternating these two rows until we get our desired length of our cowl. So I'll be working this off camera, and once I get my desired size, I'll be back to finish with you guys. So see you later when I'm done.